I'm about to invest $50,000 into HIMS, and my micro family office team today sent me 3 research reports, and we compiled them into one small but sweet report. And I'll go through this report. I'm ready here to buy 2,000 shares, bought like a small test of 161 shares. Then we'll buy 2,000 and we'll buy some more so that we buy around $50,000 of HIMS. But actually, I first want to go through this presentation and make a decision, because this presentation was done by my micro family office research team. If it looks good, I'll invest. If it doesn't, I will not invest, because one thing is clear: this stock is risky. I don't think we need to talk about what the fuck HIMS is, because it's probably clear, right? They figured out how to make buying boner pills and hair loss meds less embarrassing, and they make a lot of other things too. But what's also clear is that in these past days there was a massive crash, and HIMS could be a falling knife, right? So it's early February 2026, and just few days ago they launched a $49 per month auto weight loss pill, and it's basically a knockoff. And then a couple of hours later we had a trigger: Novo Nordisk filing a patent lawsuit, and the stock dropped. It has been dropping already for months. Went from $73 to $17. Massive freaking drop. A lot of people lost a lot of money, because this is a little bit of a retail favorite. And that's also why the internet is kind of pissed. On Reddit, people are split 50-50 between buying the dip and this is an absolute scam. On Fin Twitter, so on X, Smart Money arguably is arguing in public about the regulatory risk versus is there an opportunity? Could this turn into a massive growth story? And on YouTube also we have quite a big fan base for HIMS stock. People are projecting $30 plus. Some people are saying this thing will go nowhere, and people are bailing, right? So if we go to Reddit, we have a bunch of bulls and we have a bunch of bears. Apparently, thread are value investing, looking at HIMS, a founder-led profitable telehealth company growing 60% plus. Is there long-term value here? Some people say people are sleeping on this, right? But we also have the bears on Reddit. The FDA is going to raid them. Novo Nordisk has infinite money to sue them into bankruptcy. I think this is a little bit over dramatic. It's just a dropshipping company for generic Viagra. It's a little bit of an oversimplification, but you see, there's a lot of back and forth on Reddit essentially. And let's do a deep dive on X. Thanks for my team for taking a look here too. Positive sentiment: 80% positive reactions to Q3 earnings beat. Posts praising GLP-1 as a game changer, but also user comparing it to early Amazon. The thing here is, Amazon could paradoxically also be HIM's biggest problem, right? Because it seems like they might be competition, and you don't want to fight a price war against Amazon. You don't want to do that, right? That is a recipe for disaster. You also have negative headlines, obviously. This whole Novo Nordisk disaster. And you have a contrarian take sometimes from people on X. The market is acting like HIMS is about to be shut down. But even without GLP-1, the core business is printing cash. This is a gift. Around 15 to 20% float. And could rip back to 40% and $40+ overnight. Let's also take a super quick look at YouTube. Meet Kevin, Plain Bagel, and so on. 60% institutional ownership, up from 40% in 2023. Institutions are quietly accumulating. By the way, this is all YouTube investor statements, right? So when we look at this, Reddit, what the internet is saying, that's the chapter we're in right now, right? We're looking at Reddit, we're looking at X, we're looking at YouTube. Don't take these numbers, take these numbers with a grain of salt, right? Because that is literally what some YouTubers are proclaiming. We have no clue if this is true, right? Because what we're doing is we're downloading all the transcripts from all the YouTubers. We're looking at what all of them are saying, right? So the social sentiment score is 7 out of 10, but that doesn't mean that this stock is a 7 out of 10. It could be a 1 out of 10. It could be an absolute disaster, but because there's maybe some very uninformed investment YouTubers and they are saying this is an amazing stock without doing any research, right? So take all of this here with a grain of salt. Now here's what you don't need to take with a grain of salt though, right? Like these are the numbers that actually matter. Revenue growth has been going steadily up. This looks extremely healthy, extremely nice growth. 58% compound annual growth rate from 2020 to 2025. Q3 2025, $599 million revenue, up 49% year over year. Very, very nice. Very nice, right? So revenue up 49%, but stock down 70%. Right? What do we make out of this? The elephant in the room, obviously, is this FDA Novo Nordisk whole disaster. And let's look at a bear case and a bull case here. The bear case is the entire business is built on illegal compounded drugs, and they are done, right? They are done. Subscriber growth, excluding GLP-1, 40%, and 80% growth in multi-condition treatment subscribers. On the flip side, we have a bull case too, right? The market is pricing HIMS as if the whole company is dying, but it is not. GLP-1 was only 15% of subscribers. The core business, hair, skin, and sexual health, is profitable and growing. Right? So that would be the bull case here. Now, obviously, all of this is backed with numbers. Let's take a look at the competitive moat. This is basically a David versus Goliath kind of scenario. We have direct competitors and we have real threats. Roman RO, similar model, $1 billion valuation, slower growth though. Noom, Weight Watchers, which is app-based, but no prescription meds. Then we have the real threats, Novo Nordisk, Eli Lilly. They don't want to compete. They want to ban HIMS. Right? They are now going to legal war, apparently not product war. But we also have Amazon Clinic, and that is kind of a sleeping giant with logistics. But you could say they are lacking the cool factor, right? They are not as plugged in as HIMS. They arguably don't have as much of this kind of community base that HIMS has. Now, is that going to save them? Nobody knows. God knows, probably. Right? But we could say they have a certain moat. They have the brand trust. So they've consumerized healthcare. They have vertical integration. They own compounding pharmacies. They have sticky subscriptions. 90% of revenue is recurring. And they have a personalization engine. Their platform learns from every customer. And apparently they are doing that quite well. The more users they have, the better their AI-driven personalization gets. And this is obviously what we call a network effect. Now, the valuation opportunity. Why we are even considering this. I mean, right now, what is it? $19.33. And we're about to click confirm and invest. Or we might not. We have some analyst consensus here and a price target, but to be honest, I would completely disregard that because analysts in most cases are completely clueless. If we calculated a base case and a bull case, the base case has a fair value of $28 to $35 per share. So that is 50 to 100% upside. 100% upside. That's not bad. We have a bull case 2, which goes to $40 to $50 per share, which gives us a 2 to 3x return. Obviously, there's a bear case too. If there's a regulatory crackdown, growth slows, this could go to $12 to $14. Could be much worse, to be honest, too, right? But the balance sheet actually looks very nice, with a lot of cash, and they can definitely weather this lawsuit storm, right? So what's the most realistic thing? This will take 6 to 12 months. There will be a lot of back and forth, and then they will settle. They will need to pay something probably. Probably they will lose. Let's just say it as it is. I mean, Novo Nordisk has the best lawyers probably. They are very, very experienced with this. They wouldn't be suing if they didn't have a proper chance of winning this thing, right? The core business is growing, it's profitable, and they're adding subscribers. So, what are the risks? High regulatory risk. FDA could ban the compounded GLP-1s tomorrow. There's this legal risk with Novo Nordisk. They have infinite legal budget. They want HIMS dead for sure. And these patent lawsuits, I think it's going to be like 6 to 12 months, but it could drag on for years and cost millions and millions. There's competitive risk. If branded Ozempic prices drop or supply increases, HIMS loses their price advantage. Novo and Lilly are pricing aggressive now. You have economic sensitivity. This is medium risk. So these are discretionary wellness products, and in a recession, people might cancel their subscriptions. This is a medium risk, as I said. You have execution risk. It's a founder-led company scaling super fast. Can they maintain their culture? Can they maintain the quality of this growth when they expand aggressively? And you have certainly a lot of stock volatility. This stock has moved a lot, and it went from $73 to $17. What tells us that it can't go to $10 to $5 or back to $40, right? So this is certainly not a treasury bond. This is a very speculative growth stock in a regulatory crossfire. Now, this one we can skip. The allocation strategy will actually be to just deploy 50K immediately. We're not going to do 20K immediate or whatever shenanigans. We'll just put 50K in it. My decision, I'm investing because here's what I believe. Right now the market is panicking. The regulatory risk, of course, is real, right? But the core business, in my opinion, after looking at this, is valuable. HIMS is building the Amazon of healthcare. It might crash with Amazon at some point, but I believe that their community, their personalization mode will help them get through it, because they've created a brand and a strong moat and a recurring revenue machine. And even if this GLP-1 thing goes to zero, they're still profitable. Even if Novo Nordisk wins the lawsuit, the hair and sexual health business is worth more than the current market cap, in my opinion. The market is looking at this the wrong way currently, right? So, summing up, not much more to say. I'm investing. Social sentiment is mixed, as we saw earlier, right? But, I would be bullish on this stock. Fundamentals are improving. Valuation is very compressed, in my opinion. So, let's do this together. We'll buy this thing, 2,000 shares, and then we'll buy some more so that we're around $50,000 allocation. Probably now. Are we ready? All right. Okay. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen. See you for our next investment.